Man, oh man, if there's one thing I enjoy, it's when things are good and equitable. Fine balance where everybody's getting exactly what they need and when they need it. That's the best state of being. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, that smell. It's like unwashed drawers and ashy opinions. Oh. Oh no. It smells like confirmation bias established by cell phone video shot from the front seat of a SUV. Oh. Oh no. Quick. Chris, get the jutsu ready. It seems that we're about to run headlong into...
It's hard to do this shit when I can't breathe. All right, here we go.
Toxic masculinity! Don't know!
Disclaimer, Jutsu! The views and opinions expressed on this program are solely those of the hosts and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of associated brands or figures. I'm out of here. Poof!
I don't know which one's worse. Hitting that first small cloud or your safe air. Welcome back, crewman. Glad you decided to join me before I shove off for a little whiles.
Voyage forward.
But unfortunately, it seems that we're in a bit of a funk.
I smelled it.
And if you asked the average lady on the street, she'd assume that we were part of the men what dealt it.
That's the whole parable.
But we're gonna get to the bottom of this. We've got the poop. I found her punishment, Christopher.
And there it is.
I am leaving, after all, and we are talking about a very flexible and widespread topic, so we may as well go for the bottom ring. Dare I say, down the toilet with this week's string of chi-based punishment.
It's been a stain on society for quite some time. It needs to be wiped from existence.
You'd think as much as we talk about the porcelain-skinned issues plaguing America, that we'd be able to wipe her slate clean.
Why do you let them put me through this?
Because they have not yet learned how to ply. They've not yet learned to ply those fingers of theirs and click that subscribe button. They didn't click that like or that dislike. So the punishment must continue. And
you all hate me, don't you? That's what this is.
But eventually your torment will be flushed away, and we will have to find another trope to rope in. But for now, 'tis the poo. Poo for you.
Thanks, I hate it.
Oh, come on. It's gonna come to an end eventually.
End my suffering.
Equality has been kind of worn out. I mean, look at how we run the Cameroon, right? I'm the head of the ship. It's my boat. Now, you guys got a say in the stakes, right?
Right.
You know, help me guide her along and whatnot. But at the end of the day, wherever I point her towards, that's the horizon, yeah?
Yeah.
It's not necessarily equal, but I do try to make things equitable.
Right.
Equitable? There's $1 million word.
$1 million word that I believe gets very overlooked. And I feel like if we were able to understand that word a little better, maybe we might be able to find out why it is we're currently plagued with this rather manly funk known as toxic masculinity. Or at least part of the way. It's worth a shot, anywho.
All right, well.
Let's go.
So, they say equity means the quality of being fair and impartial.
So you get what you need because that's what you need, and I get what I need because that's what I need?
Yeah, not instead of giving you the same as me. Just because I like Brussels sprouts don't mean you like Brussels sprouts.
I am, in fact, indifferent towards Brussels sprouts.
I love sprouts, especially with a lot of butter, and like when you saute them with like garlic butter. They're great. But see, I'd figure out a way to eat my sprouts. Somebody else out there would be like, oh, hell no.
No sprouts.
The moment I became an adult, I swore never again sprouts. I say, in that guy's regard, fine. Give him cabbage. Give him artichoke hearts, then. Find a veggie that appeals to him. Kind of like lettuce. Some people like spinach, some people like romaine, some people like a big old chunk of iceberg with blue cheese drizzle and bacon on it. Like me, I'm that one weirdo that actually likes iceberg wedge salads. Anyone else like those? Am I the only one?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, let me know down there below, by the way, if you actually dig them too, because I feel like I was talking to Quartermaster about it, and I was like, dude,
Not into it.
iceberg wedge salads are the shit, man.
Not
And
into
I was
it.
I'm never really picky about it.
I was going in on it because I wanted to make some, you know, and I got a little recipe for it, you know, and it's, you know, it's simple as can be because it's literally just iceberg wedge. You take that, yeah, get yourself some blue cheese drizzle, okay, and some chipotle ranch, right? Light drizzling right on top. Take your bacon bits, shake them boys on top. Boom! It's done. It's
Just like this.
And it's so good.
You know, you come to find in a black household that a lot of the stuff you thought you didn't like as a kid, your mom just didn't know how to cook it. So once you get out there in the world, try some things, you know, like enjoy it.
But that's just it, right? I love it. CJ, on the other hand, not so much.
Pass.
Quartermaster could fuck all off with some iceberg. Doesn't matter how much I dress it up. It's still a pig in makeup as far as she's concerned, salad-wise.
Oh, Kermit.
And not that I'm even just bougie about it. Spring mix all the way.
All right.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's like, hey, everybody needs a method of transportation. So we make sure that everybody where they live has a set way to get around the town. Maybe one town needs a trolley system that uses rails. Maybe one town would benefit from using a bus. Maybe one town has a pollution problem, so they need electric vehicles. The same problem solved with different solutions. Equitable solutions.
There you go.
But where's this play into that whole funk toxic masculinity?
We'll get there.
Stay on the boat. Don't rock the boat.
Because then we have to figure out, we already said that equality's tired. We said that it's been beaten down, but in order to say that about it, we actually have to understand what it actually means.
Okay.
And equality is the state of being equal, especially in status, rights, and opportunities. In other words, having the same stuff.
So, what if I were to say, yo, Chris, guess what, bro?
What's up?
I bought all three of us bikes.
Okay.
Dude, I bought all 3 of us bikes.
Bikes?
Yeah, like bikes. Like me a bike, you a bike, Chi a bike, we bike, all 3 of we go bike.
Just bikes.
Yeah, man. Ye, me, Chi, bike it up. That's how we're going to get our cardio exercise in before we shoot the show, baby. Before we beam the crew up from their little spot in the sand, we're going to get ourselves some 2-wheeled cardio fury in. And I made sure to get those bikes. They're the same type, they're the exact same size, and they all work perfectly. You know what? It's fantastic. I no need to thank me, Chi. I hear you over there winding up your so... I just like the world to know how great we have the best captain ever. I know that's what you're about to say. And I appreciate you.
I can't ride a bike. So
Wait, well, Well, of course you can ride a bike. Everyone can ride a bike, CJ. So
I
Equality.
cannot ride a bike.
Now, mind you, he thinks he's doing something nice for all of us. Now, here's the fun part. When we say, I don't know if I want a bike, Captain.
But wait, but we all got bikes now.
I just don't want a bike.
And I can't use this.
Oh. Well,
And this is where it usually gets toxic. Because now, you went out of your way to do this nice grand gesture out of love in your heart. And they don't even want it.
But I can't use it.
which is why we would need to find an equitable solution.
Equitable?
Ah, the first word ringing true. That's why equality is a bit tired to me. Because if I run around just doing the flatline answer for everyone, regardless of what their individual needs are, yeah, then I get to say everything's fair. Everything's even. See, everyone got the same head start, everyone got the same thing, so there's no need for anyone to bitch. What if someone doesn't know how to ride a bike? What if somebody has no use for a bike, lives somewhere where there's no safe place to ride a bike? Like us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you've given something to everyone. But you'll soon find out that that blanket answer is just a big waste of money. A big waste of resources. Which is why I think we should strive for equity over equality. I mean, there are tons of benefits to it. Now, how to apply that to our current predicament?
Toxic masculinity. So, did we define those guys? Did we tell them what toxic masculinity is?
I mean, everyone thinks they know what it is.
Huh.
A lot of people say it's something that men do by default. Some people say just being a man. If you ask Gillette, they literally would act like everyone hates men. I disagree. But I think we need to be a bit more understood in modern times. So what says the interwebs on what toxic masculinity is?
Says the concept of toxic masculinity is used in academic and media discussions of masculinity to refer to certain cultural norms that are associated with harm to society and to men themselves.
Well, that's nice and clean. But they've got one for toxic, but is there one for positive masculinity by chance? I'm just throwing that out there.
Let's see. My phone just exploded.
What?
There's literally nothing.
Wow.
Oh.
There's some descriptions. I guess people are trying to.
Well, I know what we got to do to get out of this debacle.
What's that?
We've got to find that equitable amount of positivity within the masculinity. That's right. We've got to turn this cloud of shit into gold. Otherwise, we're going to be breathing deep the cool funk. And I ain't with it.
No, this is going to be fun.
Ugh, this smells like unwashed clothes and a PS4 plugged hastily into a television.
Not in a trash bag.
Transported solely in a trash bag.
From house to house and couch to couch.
Indeed. That or back to his mama's house.
I mean, clearly she's not done raising them.
So, what would you guys say are some times where you've encountered toxic masculinity?
Gee, you take this one first, because I'm pretty sure you get it from outside as as our female companion.
Oh, boy.
As the resident chi?
Where do I start? Where do I begin?
Well, man, you could start by where you had to scream and holler at him. You could start where you almost had to give him the boot of the boats. I guess what I'm saying is, wherever you feel, man.
To everybody out there listening, if you gotta tell him to wash his genitals before he puts them in someone else's genitals, stop, pack it up, just go home.
I'd like to wager it with you. You willing to mull it over with me?
Sure. What you thinking on it?
What I'm pondering on it is, what makes that toxic to me is his entitlement.
Okay.
He felt entitled to you, to your body, without making sure that his was even clean.
Okay, entitlement. I'll bite.
Like, in this instance, not that entitlement in a big umbrella is toxic masculinity. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that in this example that she's provided, in this lived experience, I'd say that aspect of it, in this male being a toxic individual, is that entitlement. Like, he didn't feel like he had to tend to himself, but I guarantee you, if you hadn't showered, he'd have let you know. Hell, he'd have probably told his homies about it.
The thing about it is, this was a mandate given as he was on his way to put his genitals in someone else's genitals. This wasn't a person-to-person story.
So somebody requested that he clean his shit before he go.
He told me he was going out to get some strange, and I was like, wash your balls first.
Sweaty.
No, this individual in particular, a former crewman.
Nasty.
You've heard tale of him.
Oh yeah, I've smelled tail.
The one that believed that I was plundering the chests and booty that he had been diving his spade into, even though I had no intention of ever doing that ever, because I never bury my spade where my mates plunder.
You just don't do that.
Bury not your treasure where your mates plunder their own. It's not right. Not without consent anyways, but I'm not that kind of pirate. As you guys know, I believe that everyone is entitled to have their own treasures. And for those who lack any sort of imagination, dude was my friend. Dude was a very paranoid guy. Dude thought I was banging dude's girl. Was not, could not, wouldn't even know how to do that because I'm not that kind of guy. Because your captain keeps it wholesome. I don't betray my friends. You'd think he'd know that, But unfortunately, he could not figure that out. This person lacked hygiene skills. Oftentimes, we had to tell him so. This person had fungus growing on his drawers at one point, which is why she specifically informed him, hey, wash your giblets. And then he, in fact,
Harumphed.
had the audacity to be offended. Man, you always tell people you gonna take whatever come out these drawers. How come I can't say that?
First of all, whatever's coming out of there is gonna be clean. Duh.
My beloved crewman, do you hear the crap that your captain had to deal with before he found the lot of you?
Hey, I'm sorry you had to endure that. There's some motherfuckers out here. Especially in this port.
30?
Boy. I should have sent some kind of warning flare out.
Honestly, man, I wish you had.
Yeah, same boat from the same
Or honestly,
galaxy as you.
let me take that back. I'm glad that you didn't get a chance to warn me. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been able to patch the Cammy up and we wouldn't be doing what we're doing now.
This is true.
Shout outs again to Lissa Lou. Thank you so much for all the work you do.
Indeed.
He's gonna tell you that didn't rhyme on purpose, but it did.
Don't even have to try now. I mean, it just happened.
Oh dear. Oh dear. It seems that I've just got an update.
Oh.
Apparently, there are a few more bunks taken up in the hull.
Fantastic.
34 strong. Well, howdy do, crewman.
Welcome.
Welcome aboard. I'm glad y'all are here. Gonna take this moment just to acknowledge all of you. Howdy do.
Konnichiwa.
I really hope that those of you that tried the pasta bake, that it worked out for you. Your captain's going to be gone for a little while, which is why we're doing this little episode for you today. You'll find out why I'm gone when I get back. When I do, there will be a bit of a facelift.
When did you put those on? I literally just kind of looked to my left and I turned back. Like you have cartoon physics. Like you have one of those like black hole pockets.
As long as
like,
it's been, you ain't figured that out yet? Really?
Like,
You just
like,
not realize that one?
I'm pretty sure you could pull out a giant mallet if it was absolutely necessary to protect the ship, and two,
If
it was
it was
funny.
funny.
It had to be- that's the rule. like it's like it just activates. Like there's like a switch on it. It's like a little light that goes from red to green, and as soon as it meets those criteria, like it flips to green. And you can just pull out whatever you want, just like right there. Like
The power of comedic timing is one of the rare things that I think I have.
But we both knew if it was funny. That's all I'm saying here.
yeah, like we know the rules. See, it only works if it's funny.
Oh, they love me. That's all that means. That means I'm loved. They know my shenanigans. But no, welcome. I'm so glad you guys are here. Really am. So how's about we spank this beast?
Love
Now-
those hams.
Chi and I, we have a beacon example of a toxic male that we can refer to at infinite.
The source even.
Yeah, to think he was once our cook. Which is odd, because apparently I'm a better cook.
I think Mama Wonder appreciates his firing the most. Remember, I said one day when I came home, she told me very aggressively not to lose any more weight.
Yeah. For a cook, he didn't do much cooking. But he did take up a lot of space.
Haven't had a lot of luck with the cooks on the ship.
No, we really haven't. Turns out, most of the time, the cook is the one that makes the most mess.
Slimy salamanders.
But how about you, my shadow-stepping friend? I mean, we have a source that we can tap into, like, ad obnoxium.
Well, being that I'm in one of the industries that gets attacked the most as it relates to toxic masculinity, I've got plenty of tales from the world of rap and hippity hop. And so,
Well, then let us dive. I've got my shades on, after all.
baby. Okay, well. So, you know, now mind you, see, this goes right back. See, it all ties in. Oh, I love how this show works. Well, you know, there's some guys.
Thank you for that.
Absolutely. You know, I wouldn't be here if I didn't absolutely love you. You know, I got a whole clan and a village and things, but it's just so much fun on the ship. It's just so wholesome here. It works.
Hey, man, you're welcome. And anyone else, by the way, y'all are welcome too. I love hearing perspective and stuff, so please.
So yeah.
Continue, my friend.
So in the shadows of the hip hop world. All right, so you have great people. Great people in this industry, and then they really like to do things for the people around them, and they like to show people a good time, and they love handing out bikes.
Blanket solutions, eh?
Yeah, so the bikes. So there's stuff that you're supposed to like when you're a rapper. There's places you're supposed to like to go when you're a rapper, because you rap and you're black. And you a dude, you supposed to like this shit. Well, you know, I always kind of had hopes that, you know, you could go out in the world and you be the change you want to be, and you know, and you start to understand some things about the world because you've been through certain things.
The way of the shonen.
You know what I mean? Like when dudes insist, hey, we should probably sell crack. And you were a kid who had a crackhead in your house that just kind of fucked up your whole family dynamic, and it just wasn't fun to see police at your house and shit when you were a kid. So by the time you get old enough to know people is out here selling rocks, you're like, I don't want no parts of that shit. But when you get into the rap game, you supposed to like bikes. You supposed to love the strip club. You supposed to like staying out till 3-4 in the morning. You supposed to like talking about money, cars, and quote unquote bitches. But
Chris, you're am rapper.
Yeah.
And you have a bedtime.
Yeah.
And a wife. And a babby.
The prettiest little babby.
A little girl. That's right.
Mate.
Yeah.
Did you know you were rappering wrong?
I mean that's what I'm told by some. You know, they I don't know. I'm supposed to talk about what you like or you think you like, as opposed to shit I'm actually doing and living. I don't know when the streets did a 180, but goddamn.
So would you say the toxic element of that would be the projection of a false image?
Projection of false images. The holograms, you say?
I mean, you'd think that
Delusions.
sounds like some cool ninja shadow art.
The genjutsu shit. Yeah. There's a tool. I mean, depending on what your objective is, you know, a little bit of that deception works. But I mean, It doesn't do much when you're trying to enlighten people.
But if they enlighten people, then how will people not fall into the same loop of trying to get that dream of a bunch of strippers and bikes and all that glamour, where women are an object to be obtained?
You don't have to be a famous rapper to objectify women.
When is it that they're told exactly that being a man, being a real example of a man, and I guess in your industry, when is it, do you think, they learn that domineering over the opposite sex is like a stepping stone to get where they are?
The funny thing about it is, they come in thinking this. Like, it's crazy because the people that you see actually getting ahead, a lot of them have like wives. A lot of them, you know, they get to bed on time and wake up early so they can get to work before anybody else. And somehow these people, because they're watching TV and I don't know where they get this shit, they're seeing these things and then they think, oh, that's what I need in order to get ahead. And then they don't wait till they've actually got the success to get those things. They already start incorporating these habits into their regular old life.
Chi, has there ever been a time where that kind of, I guess, false hustler mentality has affected you in your interactions with the men folk?
And you know, I like to think I'm better at seeing through glamours of that nature, but it always takes like a 1 to 3 day business period to kind of wear off.
Well, yeah, man, you know, not everyone pays for express shipping. And emotions take their sweet time. They're practically snail mail.
But it's interesting to see how fast it actually does fall apart.
Well, I mean, rose tint is quick and cheap.
Mm-hmm.
And very, very brittle.
Mm-hmm.
Yet it can mess so many things up for you so quickly.
Absolutely.
Man, Chris, if I weren't so wholesome, I could be a rappering too.
Yeah. I mean, you got bars. They've heard it.
Yeah, bars.
You rhymed just today without even trying. Yeah.
But still definitely on purpose.
Well, he says that I do it without trying.
He
but
does it all the
It is
time.
something that I do while naturally applying
just
the
happens.
rest of the things.
He's got the shining.
Stop.
Let's cut this out. She's already dying.
I have to pee. Come on, guys.
Oh, you about to pee. Pun time? No.
Not again. No more.
Come on, we
Cease.
punished her in the first segment.
Cease. Like you put a Disney song in here.
But for real, CJ, I've always wondered, you know, you were saying it takes you a couple of days. How so, my friend? If you're willing to share with us, what is that 1 to 3 day fog period like? Like, what are some things that they do that you're like, whoa, like as soon as the package gets delivered and you're like, wait, this isn't what the picture was.
Kenjutsu ran out.
When does the
not
man
what I
turn
ordered.
into a log?
This is not what I ordered. What is this? Take it back? Take it back. Yes, the entire man.
So yeah, just describe that to us, if you will, before the when that moment where you realize you're glad you're a Prime member, and you can just stuff him back in the bag and send him away.
You know what? You could take them to Kohl's sometimes, and they'll just take it from you. They'll give you a receipt for it and everything.
You see, she's all right with making, puns about shopping, but make a pun about poop and
Ew.
Then the shit hits the fan.
I was just waiting for you to do that one. All right, there we go. See, now that's adequate punishment.
I hate it here. Help.
You see,
Help.
that's the benefit of comedy in space, you know. Gravitation. Comes right back around, baby. But all right. Chop, chop. When were the men folk doing the stanky stank?
It's always right after that second time. Because the first time they've gone all out. The second time they don't realize, to borrow theater terms, that they're on a callback. That third time, however, if it doesn't live up to the first time, that's all he had.
What are we referring to exactly?
Subjective.
Not
Could be
just
a day, could be what happened after the day, could be that first conversation you had.
So you're saying when he can't keep the mojo, no matter what it was that hooked you, if he can't keep that same energy that first attracted you, that's when that's when those negative traits start to shine through?
Yep.
The illusion has fallen. Which is why the most powerful tool at a ninja's disposal is reality. You know why? Because it stays the same and you don't have to keep on backtracking trying to figure out your lie and all that shit. You'll know after the third day. And unfortunately, so many people are used to people coming at them with illusions that it blows their fucking mind when they realize, this is real?
Oh, man.
It fits. It'd just be one of those things we understood because it fits too.
I mean, I definitely agree. Like,
lives with that shit.
Projection, man. Like, projection is just a toxic thing in general. Like, I wanted to dive into, you know, what makes toxic masculinity toxic and how to make a positive spin on it. But really, projection kind of seems to be one of those overlying things that really keeps people from understanding that things need to be equitable.
Yeah.
Because if you are out here going, nope, this is how it is, or like how you were saying, nope, this is how the industry is, you gotta like this stuff, you gotta do these things, otherwise you cannot be what you want to be.
Which is an illusion, but
yeah,
if y'all act like it's the reality, that's what it's gonna be.
Right. So it's like the easiest way to break it seems, is to just not buy into it.
Boom.
Like, you know what would make you an asshole. So just don't be an asshole.
Are you sure you're allowed to give it to him that simple?
I feel like I have to. Mate,
Man.
if you know what you're about to do would hurt your girl's feelings, don't fucking do it.
That simple.
It's that simple. Yo, if you know your girl's monogamous, why are you talking to the other broad? Leave her alone. Don't mess her life up. It doesn't matter if she's down. The girl you're with isn't. Cut that tie and move on. If you want to be polyamorous, go be polyamorous. Be truthful.
Just be real. That's it. That's it.
Just be real.
It's so easy.
Fuck toxic masculinity. Let's replace it with positive masculinity. And the first key to positive masculinity: be real.
There it is.
And I don't mean that fake bullshit version of, yeah, I'm real.
The toxic version of real.
No, be honest. As opposed to be real. Because people love warping the word real into into this horrible thing.
I'm a real nigga. Nah. None of that shit.
It truly is a terrible thing to hear somebody warp the word real into a negative force.
Because ironically, for those of y'all who were just sourcing the hood and wouldn't actually live in there, the reason that term even came about was because regardless of whether it was good or bad what they did, those people that did exactly what they said they were going to do, that's when like, oh, that's real or whatever. And it just so happened that you had more of the people who were doing the bad shit that they said they were going to do than you had the people that were doing the good shit doing what they actually said they were going to do, because you had people coming through your neighborhood line like, I don't know, Jehovah's Witness, but that's for another day. But if good people did what they said they were going to do just as often as bad people actually did what they said they were going to do, then we probably mean something entirely different. We'd be like, oh yeah, that dude real.
I hate that you're a real one. I can't take that as a compliment because of that.
Yeah.
So, fuck toxic masculinity on that one. A positive masculine force is an honest one. Surely.
Mm-hmm. We put that on the list.
If a man were honest, then Chi, your time wouldn't have been waste. Aye?
Yeah. Whether I wanted what he was selling or not, I could have adjusted what I was going to do accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
If you wanted to.
Absolutely.
And dare I say it, allowing people to have that choice in your presence.
Choice.
Allowing choice. Because a lot of times, I think a toxic trait of being a male that gets applied is that you have to be in charge.
Right.
And that your decisions control the fate of everyone else. You're the driving force. Mm-hmm. No one else is allowed to make a choice. No one else is allowed to ask for directions. I know what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. Has there ever been a time where either of you have dealt with that?
Shit. Damn, all right, so my grandfather. I love him. Great man, respected. I've learned a lot from him. However, the grand as it implies can be a bit old-fashioned on some things. And it was a lot of my way or the highway type of situation when it came to me growing up. I didn't really have my biological dad around, and so my grandparents, they kind of stepped in and helped with a lot of things. And he had this way of, yeah, this is yours, but you can't do whatever you want to do with it or else I'm going to take it away from you. That shit. Yeah, that shit. I was like, well, I thought you said I earned this old second-hand car that I graduated and needed a way to get around to, earn money so I could have my own stuff. I thought you said that was, yeah, but you can't now have certain people in the car and you can't let nobody drive.
Is it mine or not?
Is it mine or is it not? You can have it back.
No, it's yours, but you have to take care of it the way I want you to take care of it. Yeah. That sounds like what happened to my poor Prelude.
Oh, yeah.
Because I wouldn't do what you wanted, my poor car got to sit out in the sun and rot.
Yeah. That shit. And then considering that that's probably the most toxic masculinity situation you could probably identify, and it's almost exactly similar to what I just described. That might be one of the central factors of toxic masculinity. Right in there. That what is it? Is it what we call it ownership? What we call it? It kind of ties back into that entitlement. But there's this ball of this thing like my way or the highway is actually mine. You're just living in my world, little squirrel.
Exactly. And they say that to you a lot when you're coming up. It's my house, my rules. Mm-hmm. I'm the king of this castle. I make the rules.
Be like, nigga, you gonna regret that when I have my own castle.
And then you go out and then you perpetuate that.
Do the same thing.
And you do the same shit. It spreads just like any other toxin does.
Mm-hmm. It's a blight on humanity.
But when you invite choice, when you allow the people that you share your home with or that you share your deck with to have a choice in things, instead of going, we're doing this. Hey, I'd like to do this. What would be a good time? You know, I'd like to argue that a positive masculine force is a force that is patient and offers people safety and the choice to be in that presence or not to be lorded over by that presence.
There's a reason the sun doesn't chase after the planets. He's like, I got this. Do your thing.
There you go. Swear you want to be kings, but you just act like mad dictators.
There's a difference, folks.
A king is a provider that offers solutions.
Keeps the domain good and strong and consistent so you can live safely within it.
It's not all about just telling people what to do and being the biggest, loudest one in the room.
But we swear we're not animals.
Right.
Oh, I will not stop chiseling away at that one until people break out of their hubris.
Shit, the animal kingdom seems to have it more figured out a lot of times.
I mean, and see, we're a part of it, but we don't want to acknowledge it.
We just decided to be an apex predator.
Yeah.
I mean, that's generally how apex predators are chosen. They generally decide to start eating other things, right? And we decided to shape our domain. And maybe with that hubris, that need to lord over kind of comes with it. Chi, has there ever been a time where if choice were given to you, your relationships with those masculine figures that tried to force you to do things would have been drastically better?
This is a story for another time, but that would have made so many facets of my formative years better. Long story short, yes.
Oh, daddy.
Oh, anybody.
Choice. To protect them, but don't lord over them. Give them the choice to be in your presence. Be honest with them. I think if we apply that, we'll all breathe a little easier.
That's a good place to give an example of positive masculinity, because I remember I lied to my dad that raised me. I lied to him one time when I was, let me see, that's when I was like 7, and I knocked over a pitcher of Kool-Aid and he had asked about it, and he broke it down, basically like why lying just was exhausting thing to do. Like I would have had less of a punishment had I told the truth about it than for just knocking over the pitcher of Kool-Aid, because he understood it. He's like, you're a kid, you were trying to pour the Kool-Aid, you drop it. All you had to do was tell the truth. And like ever since then, it just made sense. Like, damn, okay, I'll just tell daddy the truth. Like even if I've done something like bad, I'd rather him know it from me than him finding out about it and I've lied about it, because then, he's trying to teach me a lesson about not lying. Be honest. So yeah, honesty and positive masculinity, hand in hand.
Well, look at there.
I ain't gonna say that's the last time I ever lied, but I tell you what, like it took something, like literally it had left my nature at that point where if I did it, it took a lot of energy and I don't know, something else to have to get to that point. But
once again, you breathe a little easier when you apply it, don't you?
That's right.
So I think when we just take that fair, equitable approach to it, it's not really that hard to break through the toxic miasma. Being honest, it's not hard, right?
At all.
Being there for the people you care for and letting them know that if they need you, you're there. That's the easiest thing you could do. It's a lot less stressful than worrying yourself ragged, trying to look out for everybody that doesn't need you to look out for them. Just shoot them a message. Be like, hey man, you doing all right? I ain't heard from you in a minute. Just saying hey. Just letting people know you're there.
All right. Because believe it or not, some of them are doing okay without you. And they want you to be proud of them. So don't go in assuming, oh, they need my help. They need a bike.
Give them the opportunity to tell you, nay, I learned how to ride a unicycle.
Ooh.
Someone made me a hand bike for people that can't use regular bikes.
Give them the opportunity to come to you. Give them that choice. And stop projecting the things that were done to you in the past and invoking your will on them. Don't put out a fake image to try and make yourself seem more appealing. Because in the long run, she's gonna catch on to your act. But anywho, if this made sense to you, hopefully you'll join us again. We'll beam you up right up here on the deck from your usual place in the sand. I'm Captain Flint. Joining me as every other time, and hopefully for the rest of time.
Chris Winder, Emma, peace.
And it's the CJ. Drink your water, take your meds. Be good to each other, and be good to yourselves.
Oh, and if you put as much energy into actually being a great person instead of just looking like one, it'll run itself.
Ooh.
And on that one, we'll see you next month. Captain loves you. Bye. Bye.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.